Something big is happening right now in global markets, and once you realize just how big it is, I promise you'll be crying and squealing big time. So if you understand that something big is about to come, hit that like and subscribe. Get signed up to FEMX or BITUNIX below. If you sign up with my link to FEMX specifically, you do not need KYC now. And without any further ado, what is happening? The price of Bitcoin right now is up a little bit. If we look at the stock market, for example, also the S&P up a little bit, seemingly putting in a potential bottom right on its 50-week moving average. And let's just say big things are coming. So I want to start off actually looking at this as well. The M2 money supply has reached a new all-time high. Every time that's happened, Bitcoin has made a new all-time high, a new high within 8 to 12 weeks. I think the possibility of Bitcoin reaching a new all-time high by April to May is highly likely, according to Niels here on X, and I agree with that. I think the M2 money supply is one of the most important things to be watching. And additionally, Bitcoin closed this week above the prior weekly candle, leaving behind a weekly swing low. Stocks should have bottomed for now as well. No real excuses left now for the bulls. The cycle count is on their side. Additionally, we see this pattern by Matthew Hyland pointing out, just most likely, whether it's inverse head and shoulder or whatever, we have 4-hour bearish divergence, daily bullish divergence. The Bitcoin chart, I think, is looking pretty good. Additionally, Bitcoin likely to reach a new all-time high this coming new month of April, according to Crypto Burb, which is not the most popular opinion right now. And what this chart shows is 10 years of Bitcoin seasonality, including where I think we're going to be heading specifically in this new month of April. We also see that the weekly chart for Bitcoin, we closed above the March open with hidden bullish divergences, looking for a push to the 2025 open to close out this first quarter. We have about a week left of this first quarter of 2025. And also a weekly hidden bullish divergence for the first time in about the last 6 or 7 months. We see the price of Bitcoin putting in hidden weekly bullish divergence, pretty big. Not only big, extremely big. Now, we see a lot of other things happening as well. We see the stock market, the S&P 500 specifically, doing something very interesting, currently up over 1.5%, NASDAQ up almost 2%, Dow Jones up over 1%. Are we having some sort of recovery? Maybe. I want to talk about that. But also we're seeing things like Tesla, for example, up actually about 25% in just the last 2 weeks as well. That's pretty big. Obviously, we saw Tim Walz saying he gets a little boost when he sees Tesla dumping. Since he said that, Tesla is up. Now it's up over 25% since his comment. And additionally, we have people, and this is probably the funniest thing to me, and also just the most absolutely insane. You have people on Reddit who are notoriously not very financially savvy. They like to cry a lot, and we've also seen these threads on Reddit, and they've been posted all over Twitter or X for the past week or so of people that they're specifically saying they've never really invested and they're learning about call and put options, and these people learning they can short Tesla, and we're getting an influx, a massive amount of these people, right, that are trying to short Tesla. And so just let's play a little quick scenario real quick. When you have people that have never invested before that are very emotional about Tesla right now. So for example, this tweet, this person aping at $140,000 on puts, this person half of my net worth on Tesla, basically betting that will go down. So if you have people that are inexperienced in markets but are making a very emotional play because they don't like Tesla, they decided they don't like Tesla over the last month, and they are emotionally investing and going very short on Tesla after, keep in mind, what is Tesla right now? It is was down about 55% from all-time highs. Currently, now it's down about 43% from all-time highs. You have people that are emotional, inexperienced investors that are aping a lot of money into short options on Tesla. How do you think that's going to play out? Especially after they're pretty much aping these put options as Tesla's price has already been cut in half, and this is when they're going short. Let's just look at it rationally for a second. What is the most likely scenario for those people? And I'll answer that question. Nothing's guaranteed, but the most likely scenario for those people is they're about to find out you can lose a lot of money. Okay, that's my opinion. I believe they're about to find out what a short squeeze is. I believe they're about to find out why, for decades, people have been trying to teach new investors to not emotionally invest, which is quite literally exactly what these Tesla shorting positions are based on. Emotion, 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 only emotion. So is it possible that these people that are beginning investors putting their half of their net worth and stuff like this on the line and trying to short Tesla after it's already been slashed in half, is it possible that they become millionaires, multimillionaires, and make a lot of money shorting Tesla? Sure, it's possible. It's also possible they get completely liquidated and end up actually contributing to a massive short squeeze that pushes the price of Tesla much higher. That's what I would think is the more likely option. It's a game of probabilities. There's no guarantee. Nobody knows for sure what's going to happen, but that's just my opinion. I think a lot of these people are about to find out big time why you shouldn't emotionally invest. And with that being said, we have Tesla. MicroStrategy actually is now above its 21-day moving average for the first time since January of this year. So in like 2 months, it's the first time it's above its 21-day moving average. We also see that, again, I mean, it's important to look at the SPX. You can see where this open was, pretty high. There's going to be a bounce at some point. And the biggest part about all of this is that this is quite literally, and I was just watching, even CNBC is saying this, like at the flip of a switch, Trump could just change his stance on tariffs and this market could go skyrocketing, right? This is not like some scenario where we're guaranteed to be in a downtrend for the next 6 to 12 months. This is not what this is. This could flip like this. And it's very dangerous trying to short these markets right now. It is extremely dangerous, especially, I mean, one of the biggest red flags I'm seeing, again, is whether it's Tesla shorters. I mean, mainly Tesla shorters are the biggest example of this. But these people, many of them, have never invested or shorted a stock, period. And they're trying to get as many of their friends who also hate Tesla to do the same thing. I would just put out a word of warning. Like, those people are very likely to get completely banged and end up contributing to a bigger pump in Tesla, which is the ironic part. The more people that just pile in these short positions at these levels, that means the higher Tesla goes, the more these short positions will get liquidated, which means the higher then Tesla will then go, which is the exact opposite of what these people want. But that's pretty much the, F around, find out part of this scenario. People are effing around, and it's very likely, again, it's not guaranteed, it's just very likely those people are about to find out. I mean, for example, just looking at the Tesla chart here, look at this, look at the RSI. I guarantee 99.9% of the people that are aping in Tesla shorts at these levels have no idea what a MACD, RSI, what any of this stuff is. And we look at the MACD on the weekly chart, where you can see where back in like December-ish, as we were topping out, the MACD was extremely overbought. Now we're all the way down here with like multiple weeks of red momentum. You see this is the very first potential curve on the MACD to positive momentum. Is it possible that all these people just tried shorting Tesla at the bottom? Hey, I don't know. Nobody knows for sure. But if they just shorted the bottom, they are about to be in a world of pain, and they are about to lose a lot of money. And not only are they about to lose money, the thing that they're so emotionally invested and excited to have happen, which is they want to bring Tesla down to $0. I was just reading a comment. They said Tesla should be anywhere between $0 and $50 per share is what their comment was. Basically, they want to crash it to nothing. How ironic would it be if not only did they not bring it to 0, but they actually contributed to a new all-time high run for Tesla? The funniest scenario is very often the most likely one. And hey, we'll just wait and see. We'll give it a few weeks. I personally don't think it's going to take a few weeks to find out. But the reason I say this too is that there's a high correlation with Tesla, MicroStrategy, risk assets in general, the S&P 500, tech stocks, Bitcoin. There's a big correlation with all those. So if Tesla is at all-time highs, if MicroStrategy, if the S&P 500 is at all-time highs, it's very likely Bitcoin is also near or at all-time highs. And as we just talked about with the M2 money supply increasing and with this 100-day roughly lag, I just think this is such an extremely dangerous place to be shorting. For example, on the Bitcoin daily chart, we have what looks to be very clearly a bullish Adam and Eve pattern, where we have a neckline right here, roughly around like 94, 95,000, a very sharp drop recovery back to this level where we get rejected. And then we kind of round out for a little bit over the next couple of days. If we come back to 95, and then, continue this bull trend after being in a downtrend, just like what this typical bullish Adam and Eve pattern is, a lot of people are going to get banged. A lot of people that decided to go short on Bitcoin, on the stock market, on tech stocks specifically, on Tesla specifically, those people could be in a massive world of hurt. And that is the most likely scenario here. The most likely scenario is not that these emotional people that have never invested in their lives or started investing 2 weeks ago are about to initiate the biggest, most successful trade in history. That is not the most likely scenario. The most likely scenario is these inexperienced people who are using their emotions only are about to lose money as well, right? they're losing it with their emotions, and they're about to lose it with their actual finances and their money, and they're about to be even more upset. That is the most likely scenario. It's the most obvious as well. But what is it? Occam's razor. Usually the most simple, likely scenario is the one that happens. I mean, still watching the money supply is at all-time highs. I think Bitcoin is going to be going back up soon. Not to mention, I mean, as I just said, also, it's so important. All of these things are shaping up as like a massive bear trap. But the bigger picture here is that quite literally the Trump administration can switch their stance like that, and the markets will explode to the upside. That's why I'm saying, like, even if we spend a couple more weeks going down, let's say we spend a couple weeks, maybe a couple months going down. Are you still confident shorting here though? Because like at any moment, your entire strategy could just be upended by relaxation on tariffs or reciprocal tariffs. I mean, keep in mind, April 2nd is like a big day where we're expected to see a lot of volatility and a lot of frustration globally in terms of reciprocal tariffs and everything, which is just about a week away. Is this a safe time to be shorting? Maybe it's a great time to be shorting, or maybe people are about to get completely banked. The more people that I see that don't have any experience being more confident and taking one side, which right now the side they're taking is to short these markets, the more confident I am that we probably shouldn't be shorting these markets long term. Again, in the short term, people have made profits shorting some of these stocks and Bitcoin and cryptos. We'll see how long that stays beneficial. I just don't necessarily think, especially, I mean, look at the weekly chart for Bitcoin. I don't know if this is the optimal time to be shorting. I mean, I do know. My opinion is I think this is really dumb to be shorting right here. But hey, you got to do what you want to do. And I think that the Tesla story and tech stocks in general, with the stock market as well, lining up with risk assets in general, I think it's such an interesting story. And I think it is one of those moments that people they're going to learn the hard way why it's not as easy to make money in these markets as a lot of people think it is. It's not just luck. It's not just get in, get out, become rich just like that. Unfortunately for those people, they might end up finding out things are not that simple. Things are not that easy. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm actually really excited to see how this plays out because I think we're going up. And get signed up with FEMX or BITUNIX below if you want to buy Bitcoin altcoins or trade. Specifically with FEMX, there is no KYC required now using my link. But I really do.